This hot dog slicing gadget really is hilarious. Just lay in your sausage and fold over the blades again to close it. As you push down, it slices through the sausage and you get these itty bitty bits of hot dog. Have you ever seen one of these? This is actually for removing the kernels from corn on the cob. You just line it up with the centre, then push it through while twisting the tool. As it goes through, it cuts the kernels clean off the cob. Let's take a look at this smashy egg press. To try it out, I'm peeling this egg, then dropping it inside, and I'm going to mash it into this bowl. Give it a squeeze, and out comes the egg. Oh, look at that. I'm also going to try out one of these potato ricers. It's the same sort of principle, but we place a boiled potato inside, line up the plunger, and give it a squeeze. And we squeeze out this riced mashed potato, and it's a nice alternative way to serve potato. Now let's take a look at this cutting gadget. It's like a large pair of tongs with combs at the end. The idea is we hold something like a lemon in it, then use a knife to cut down in between the prongs, and it should give us lovely even slices. Well yeah, that's actually worked really well. Next I'm going to look at this crinkle cut chip cutter. You just take a peeled potato and push it down through. Wow, look at that! The cuts are so neat you can even piece it back together. You can even get larger ones like this, which you may find more comfortable to hold. Now check this out, have you ever seen one of these before? It's got a holder at the bottom and a cutting blade at the top which pushes down through the holder, and it's actually designed for cutting a hard-boiled egg into segments. The idea is we place an egg into the holder, like this, and squeeze down the cutter. Oh, it cuts through really easily. When we open up the egg, it's cut it into these 6 nice little segments. I also really like using this gadget. We use it by putting it on top of an egg, pull back the hammer, and give it a bash. And it cuts a perfectly round hole in the top of the eggshell. Next I'm going to try out this kiwi gadget. And you should be able to remove the fruit from the skin. And yeah, it actually worked really well. Now I want to show you a really cool watermelon gadget. I'm slicing this watermelon into segments, then I'm using this tool to safely cut in between the fruit and the skin. But yeah, it's really easy. Now we're going to take a look at this gadget. This is another one of my favourites. It's designed to cut small tomatoes or grapes into quarters, so it does work really well. Next I want to show you this really cool potato masher. It's like this conical spring design. To use it, you just place it over your boiled potato and push it down. It just squeezes it through. With one push, you get instant mashed potato. It's really easy to use and it works really well. Next I want to show you this thing, and it's actually designed for cracking open eggs. Place your egg in here, hold it over a bowl and give it a go. Wow, yeah, that worked really well. Have you ever seen a tin opener like this? It's a really funky design. To use it, we line up the can with this arrow, then push the handles back together to grip the can firmly. And the can starts turning underneath. So remove the opener, and you can now use the small pliers to lift off the lid. Next I want to show you this thing. It's actually a garlic chopper. Place a clove of garlic inside and close the doors. Roll it back and forth over the worktop and it only takes a few seconds to completely slice it up. Next I'm going to look at this, a cool little garlic press. I placed on a clove, then firmly pushed down on the top, and it appears to be stuck in the blades. But when I lift it up and close it again, most of it fell down into the drawer. Now here's another garlic gadget. It's called a garlic press and it's far more simplistic. It's just this nice stainless steel hand press. The idea is we just roll it over the top while pressing down. I did find I needed to use quite a lot of force, but finally it did all press through. And take a closer look and you can see it's really cracked it nicely. Next I'm going to show you this electric potato peeler. Place a potato onto these spikes at the bottom, then lower down the top spike into the potato. Lift up the cutting arm up to the top, then turn it on. It rotates the potato while the cutting arm slowly works its way down from the top to the bottom, and when it gets to the bottom it even turns itself off. Next I want to show you this French fry cutter. You pull back this lever at the top to open it up, place in your potato, then with a bit of force squeeze it through. And there we go, we've got these perfectly square, nice cut French fries. Next we're going to have a look at this gadget. It's got 10 little serrated blades. It's designed for slicing tomatoes. It does feel slightly awkward to use because you have to hold the tomato from underneath while you use the tool on top, a bit like a saw. Then you need to swap your hand over to the top and carry on with the cutting. And there, it's worked really well. Next I'm going to take a look at this automatic hands-free can opener. To use it, we just sit it on top of our food tin, make sure the rim is in between the mechanism, then press the on button. It starts cutting and automatically turns itself all the way around the can, and we can lift off the lid. And again, it leaves no sharp edges. Next I'm going to try out this AnySharp sharpener. They claim it's the world's best knife sharpener, so let's take a look. It does feel really well built. I'm going to be sharpening this knife. This knife hasn't been sharpened for years, so let's try out the sharpener. So apparently all I have to do is sit the blade in the metal sharpening groove and draw it backwards, like this. Do it 3 or 4 times, and that's all there is to it. So let's see how well it cuts paper now. Well, yeah, it's actually done pretty well. Now we're going to try out this banana slicing gadget. Well, banana is really soft, and it cuts through it easily. It gives us these nice even slices, and it's really fun to use. The next one we're going to look at are these scissors, which are multi-blade. There's 5 pairs of blades, so if you're cutting up things like herbs with scissors, these should make it 5 times quicker. And yeah, to be honest, it cut all of these up really well. Let's take a look at this thing. Well, it's actually an orange skin cutting tool. The idea is you wear it on your finger, a bit like a ring, and this little tooth that sticks out should be just deep enough to cut through the peel. So let's give it a go. It fits the curvature of the fruit well, and it feels like it's working. And yeah, it's cut through the skin enough to be able to peel it. For the next one, we're going to try this really cool looking screw-in squirter gadget. It's designed to spray out fresh lemon juice. You can see it's got perforated holes to filter the juice into the squirter. Once it's screwed in, just give it a couple of pumps, and we've got amazing fresh lemon juice. Pretty cool, huh? Now let's take a look at this soda pump fizz keeper. Apparently it fits a standard sized bottle, and it keeps the fizz in your soda. So the idea is, if you're opening up a bottle of fizzy drink, pouring yourself a glass, but keeping some for later, you can screw on the fizz keeper instead of the standard bottle top. Then pump the bulb a few times, which will blow air inside and actually pressurise the bottle a bit. This should help to prevent the loss of CO2 bubbles in your drink as you store it. The next thing we're going to look at is this steamship pan cover. The idea is to sit it on top of a pan when cooking, and it acts a bit like a lid. It allows steam to escape through the funnels, which should help to stop the pan boiling over. Have you ever seen one of these? It's designed to help remove limescale from the nozzle of your tap, and what you do is pour a descaling agent into the bulb, like this, then hook it over your tap, and pull the bulb over the nozzle, like this. Leave it on to soak for an hour or so, then carefully remove it. Run the tap, and give it a clean off, and if you do suffer from limescale build-up, this should help keep it at bay. The silicone tube for peeling. To use it, just push a clove inside, place your hand on top and roll it back and forth. After a few seconds you can empty it out, and you should find the clove is completely peeled.